Hello there. I have just come home from work, so I thought it's a good time to talk about New Year's resolutions while I'm still fully clothed, not wrapped in a blanket watching TV, and very much motivated to talk about it. Um, and I just kind of want to talk about whatever, which I guess is resolution number one, talk about whatever I want in whatever videos I make in the new year. So, I have 3 New Year's resolutions to give you and little subgroups for how to accomplish them. I have found, whether from the advice of career advisors or life coaches or just my own personal experiences, that New Year's resolutions are only as good as the work put into them, and that starts from the planning stage. New Year's resolutions need tangible steps and tangible, big picture outcomes to really be effective. So I have the beginnings of working out my own plan for that. I have the grandeur, big resolution, and some of the little things I think I need to do to get where I need to go with those. Let's go with number 1. I have all of my notes prepared for this. Ground and be present. I have felt in the past that I get very much into my own head because of stress and anxiety and lack of confidence. I'm going to be trying this year to let thoughts just flow out of my head. If you're anyone specifically who has a mental disorder like I do, I have clinical OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, so there are certain little repetitive thoughts that pass through my head and anxiety thoughts. And I've learned in past therapy that if you just let them happen and then let them go, it's the best possible way to get them out of your brain. I am hoping to keep a steady journal to really connect with how I'm feeling as well as what's going on around me and just make sense of what's going on in my brain that's making me not focus on what's in front of me. And maybe if I write out all of my random thoughts, they'll just go away. I'll let you know how that goes. It's kind of an experiment of mine. Then I want to dive into some of my own spirituality, which for me has a lot to do with connecting with nature. I'm going to be starting a daily practice of kind of daily meditations, as long as I do it once a day, to center myself and become one with everything around me as opposed to pushing everything out and putting up a curtain in front of my eyes. Maybe I'll be able to stay out of my own way. And giving myself time to breathe, and I mean deep breathe, to get me centered. Number 2, it says being outgoing in my career journey. That's a pretty good one. I will plan on reaching out to some new theater companies that align with my beliefs and what I want out of my own career, things that I want to focus on. I am very focused on female empowerment and especially nonprofit theater companies that focus on women in leadership roles. That is major for me. And then putting in new work and experimental work that's a little outside of the mainstream. I'm going to be seeking out those kinds of theaters, sending emails, letters, packets of my resume and stuff like that, which I've already started working on this year, so it should be easy enough to start a list of theaters and get that ball rolling. I have to redo my business cards. My last name has changed, and I actually bought my domain this year for my website, so I have to change my business cards, so I have to reorder those to also send to theaters and pass out to friends and colleagues along the way, and kind of just, I gotta get comfortable with that kind of practice. I'm also working on applying to teach at my local rec center so that I can meet new people in the theater community and introduce young people to the arts and further their careers, journeys in artistic expression, and also networking. there's no bad time to network. The last thing is I want to be vocal about my goals and stretching my network, and to make sure that I'm always introducing myself to people. I feel like there are plenty of interactions where you like interact with people, but you don't say like, hey, my name is, and I do this. So I'm gonna be better about really speaking up for myself, being a voice for my brand and my business and who I am. I guess this goes along with being present as well, is just checking in with people and asking how they're doing, and being that supportive presence within my network of friends and colleagues as well. And finally, I want to be self-aware of my footprint on the environment and all other beings around me. I'm going to be doing a lot more research on the better options for how I can reduce my waste, like my trash, how I can be better with what I eat to support the environment and how it affects maybe animals. I found out there are certain kinds of milk that's like affecting the bee population. Had no idea. I want to find the products that are cruelty-free, vegan, like my makeup products I'm transitioning. Luckily, most of mine already were, and I didn't even know, but a couple of them I am transitioning into vegan and cruelty-free products. I want to try as often as I can to donate whatever time and or money I have to properly support causes, and maybe even create some kind of theater benefit event to help raise some money for a cause that I have close and dear to my heart. And I want to keep reading and listening to podcasts and watching documentaries and everything that are going to get me more up to date on how I can be more self-aware, talking up the issues on my social media accounts and bringing up conversations in everyday life so that we can all become part of the solution. So to recap, my New Year's resolutions are to be grounded and present, be outgoing in my career journey, and self-aware of my footprint. And to top it all off, why don't we just try to do a vlog once a week, every week for 2021. So expect that once every week, coming out a Friday or a Saturday every week. You will be getting an update on what's going on in my life, how I'm furthering my goals, and we'll see what 2021 has to offer. And we can kiss 2020 goodbye. Here the video ends and the work begins. Let's support each other.